Well, I was told 2 minutes. I already know I'm going over, so I apologize for that. It's tough act to follow Jill and Mr. Miller. For those who don't know me, I am Ray. I am Travis's older brother. Recently, many people have told me the most nervous they've ever been is when they've had to give their best man or maid of honor speech. I have not found that to be the case. The most nervous I had been was about 7 years ago. Travis had to do the same exact thing for me. Before the end of that speech, that was the most nervous that I have ever been. That being said, I don't know how many of you know Travis's favorite word. I'm sorry, his least favorite word. It's travesty. I typically spell it with an I instead of an E. I'm not really quite sure why that is. I'm just hoping this speech doesn't end up as one. So, whenever you see Travis, make sure you mention travesty in any type of talk, conversation you might have. So, I would like to congratulate Travis and Sarah on their marriage. We couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day or a better venue to celebrate this wonderful occasion. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Miller for hosting us all here tonight. This is just fantastic. I'd also like to thank my mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Davis, for hosting us last night for the rehearsal dinner and the happy hour afterwards. Mr. Miller, Mrs. Miller, I'd also like to thank you for raising such a wonderful, and beautiful, and charming, and patient, and tolerant, and loving woman. Mom and Dad, you tried your best. I'm kidding, of course. From a very early age, Bird has had an approach to life that I truly admire. When he tries to do something, or decides to do something, he goes in every ounce of his being. He doesn't give up. He never surrenders, because he always believes that he will come out victorious on the other side. And I believe this started when Travis, Katie, Dad, and I would play Wednesday Night Blackout. When we were growing up, every Wednesday night, we'd go out to our parents' bedroom, we'd turn the lights off, and WrestleMania would occur. The only rule was you weren't allowed to cry. As soon as that happened, the game was over. Dad would always play the role as monster or villain. He would eventually pin Katie and I down, make us say uncle, before he would let us go. Travis, or Bird, would not say this. He believed he could win, no matter what. He developed a superhuman strength to get him out of this situation. He would turn bright red, start violently convulsing, and shout at the top of his lungs, "A lumba, a chumba, a 30 and a dumba." Upon hearing this, Dad would act like he got hit by a train, let Travis run loose. For some reason, this gave Travis the belief that, or for some reason, this gave him the self-confidence to take on any challenge that life would give him. And that is exactly what he has done over and over, from playing sports to landing this beautiful bride sitting beside him. It's really something that I've always admired about my own brother. You may have noticed that I've been calling Travis Bird every once in a while. So I think I should mention some of the names Travis has been called throughout the years. There's Rodney, Spot, Tank, Trav-ass. There are just a few that stick out to me, but there are really only two that stood the test of time. The first is Bird. Katie and I started calling him this around his 4th birthday. This was because from the age of 4 to about 16, he used the murderous weapon that was his stuffed Big Bird. Yes, the one from Sesame Street, against us. The thing had a reinforced steel beak. At least that's what it felt like when he would grab it by the feet and whip it with all his might with no regard, destroying any flesh or object that may come in its path. The second name is a more recent one, and it's by far my favorite. It's Uncle Trav. It is really something to watch how Travis acts when he's around my sons, Ray and Colin, how he torments, teases, and plays pranks on them constantly, and how he turns into a puddle of mush around Brookie and Emmy. There isn't a doubt that you are their loving, crazy, out their uncle, and you would do anything in the world for them. Sarah, you look absolutely stunning tonight. I remember the first time Travis mentioned that he met me. It was on the same time chat. Most of you in this room know what that is. He told me he met a tall, funny, pretty volleyball player who would put up with witty repartee. I believe those were the exact lines that he said. Then he said you worked at Gore in the HR department, had a cat, and were from Elkton. I thought to myself, this is going to be bad. We're from Northeast, we work at Gore, this is going to be awful. He's going to get himself fired. A little later in the conversation, he mentioned that you were Flyers and Eagles fan. And that's when I realized that this thing had a shot. From that moment on, I knew the biggest test would be when you watched your first Eagles game with him. If you survived that, you were a match made in heaven. Anyone who has seen any type of Philadelphia sporting event with Travis knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is no easy feat to get through, but there you were, just laughing at his antics and telling him to chill out. Something that everyone that I know who has watched the game with him has said to him. But for you, it worked. It happened. He listened to you. It was absolute magic. Soon after, you seamlessly joined our family, and I know I speak for the rest of the Davis/Stantino clan that we are very excited and extremely happy to officially join you to our team, family, whatever you want to call it. I'm truly honored to be a part of your special day. The two of you complement each other in so many ways. The compassion and adoration that the two of you show each other can only lead a lifetime of great memories and laughter together. So I know I'm past my 2 minutes, so let's raise our glasses to the newlyweds and wish them a lifetime of love and happiness and laughter together. Cheers.
Thank you, women. Nice to meet you.